Hello, Namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host, Nagesh Deshpande. So today we are going to discuss on a different topic again. Today's topic is all about agile leaderships and what type of skills do manager required to get into this agile leadership roles. To speak on this topic today, we have a new speaker, Rashmi Fernandes, all the way from Bangalore. Rashmi and me were speakers in Regional Scrum Gathering Pune in year of 2024. So we met before only in the conference. To talk about Rashmi, Rashmi is a leadership, agility, and a business transformation coach. She's a licensed agile leadership journey coach and guide. She's a 360-degree leadership agility assessment practitioner, NLP practitioner, PMP certified, postgraduate in organization psychology, and now she is pursuing doctorate in leadership. So amazing, big profile. She is wonderful speaker. I have heard her previously. So without wasting much time, let's welcome Rashmi. Hey Rashmi, welcome. Welcome, Rashmi. Hey, Rashmi, welcome.
Hi, Nagesh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much.
So nice to see you after maybe 1 year, or 2 years almost. Okay.
Yeah.
So as I said in your intro, we met in a conference, Regional Scrum Gathering Pune 2024.
Yes.
And so like when we connected, so this is my audience, when we connected, we had to discuss about leadership. So Rashmi said, why not, why not talk today? So I said, let's do it. So without wasting much time, let's get into our questions. So Rashmi, uh, uh, just want to understand the biggest mindset shift required to lead. So not just in a agile organization, but any organization. So what kind of biggest mindset shift is required?
Yeah. I believe the biggest mindset shift in today's era is moving from this either or to an and mindset. Most
Mm.
often there's always this conversation around whether we should do traditional project management or agile project management, whether we should focus on quality or speed, whether we should focus on people or on process or product. Today with AI coming in, I think there is also too much questioning around should we do AI or should we focus on human beings, right? So I believe the biggest shift that we need today is not this either or mindset, but an and mindset. We need
Okay.
speed, we need quality. We need human being to be doing well while we need products to be delivered. Need to focus on customer value while we need to focus on employee engagement. So I feel that binary thinking of either or does not work anymore.
Mm.
And especially with the AI coming in, though there is a lot of insights getting generated at incredible speed, we cannot let the human influence go away, right?
Absolutely.
So I feel that's the biggest mind shift if considering that, there are so many changes going on right now.
Right. So human should be respected. Humans should be treated as a human going forward, as always. So that's what something which we can take away from this discussion.
Yeah.
And going ahead, like how do agile leadership skills differ from the traditional management skills? Or like let's take an example, like let's go back 10, 20 years and now today, and let's take it ahead 10, 20 years ahead. So what will be the difference?
There's a lot of difference, right? In the past, before Agile came in, the traditional way, or even before that, the way things would work is you would have one hero leader or a one project manager who knew it all, and
Right.
he would have all the answers for you. So anything you get stuck, anywhere you get stuck, you go to that person and say, okay, now what do I do? So your project manager were responsible for planning, for monitoring, for controlling, and making things happen. And he was the sole responsible person for delivering the product. But today, I think with Agile coming in and with so many changes happening, uh, the project manager alone cannot do that. He cannot
Right.
have all the answers. He needs to be co-creative. He needs to take other people's perspective. And when you grow up the ladder, you will see that you're getting disconnected from the floor, which means you do not have all the information. So I think the important thing is to move away from that command and control to moving to, a place where all of us can sit together, have a discussion, and solve problems. I think that is one of the most important things in tradition, the difference between traditional and agile project management. Also, I feel like, today agile leaders have to work on themselves. Traditional manager in the past, traditional project management did not need people to focus on leadership. We were very focused on results. We were very
Right.
focused on output. We were very focused on delivery. As long as it's within scope, within budget, within timelines, the project management is successful, right? But today it's no longer the case, because the very nature of agile is sensing and responding to change, which means that you not only need to be able to respond to situation, but you also need to have certain abilities in yourself to navigate the change as a leader yourself. So I
Right.
think that's another huge difference, in the way traditional management was uh, led, and the way agile leadership should continue.
Right.
So.
Rightly mentioned. So the earlier example that you gave, one
Mhm.
person, hero person used to do everything. It can be very overwhelming for that person, first thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And it can go in right or wrong, both ways. Yeah. If we are lucky, if it goes into right way, we may get good results. But if you go wrong way, first of all, there will be lot of micromanagement, command control kind of environment, and everything will be on numbers.
yeah,
Results will be on the numbers. So such things will be not suitable for current or future environment. Considering that now even Gen Zs are coming into the picture,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's where this mindset shift that you are talking about, or the learning or adaptability, or whichever way you can say that, that psychological change is required. That's
Yeah,
what I can say right now here.
right.
And so like uh, let's see leadership when they go, like you mentioned one example, they go into the hierarchy, they start doing a lot of things, and often they overlook, or they have the blind spot, in this transformation. So what kind of blind spots, or what kind of things that they overlook?
So there are several blind spots that leaders have. One of the things that I have seen again and again is that whenever there is an agile transformation initiative in your
Hmm,
organization, people think that it is a team level transformation. It is never about
hmm,
leaders, right?
hmm,
They say that as long as we are bringing in frameworks, we are bringing in new roles like Scrum Master, Product Owner, Developer, we are creating structures, we are, making sure that we are training everybody on Scrum or Safe or whatever that is, we are going to get transformed.
right.
I think that's a blind spot. I personally believe that there are so many other things involved just apart from this process and framework and methods. One, if you don't create the conditions or the environment for the agile transformation to happen, it's not going to work. Because today your policy may say that you have to take 10 approvals before you deliver something,
Hmm,
but agile cannot wait for 10 approvals. Things are changing very fast. You need to be really quick, and hence you need to give autonomy to your teams to make those decisions, right? So don't consider it as a team level intervention. It is not. You have to lead from the front and get your hands dirty, and unless you learn the how to go around things, you will not be able to expect that from your teams, because you don't even understand what it is to go through the grind, right? So I think that's one of the things. So keep in mind that you cannot underestimate the cultural elements that are there in the environment when you're coming up with an agile transformation initiative. Unless you align the environment and the initiative, things cannot work.
yeah. To add to what one more thing that you want, people think that bringing tools like ALM tools like Jira or Azure DevOps will also become agile. No, that's not true. So
Yeah.
one more thing, and the perfect example that you gave about waiting for 10 approvals. So this is really from my past experience, one of the past experience. So one of the development team member went through the right channels. He
Mhm.
approached product owner. He demoed it. He said that, okay, this is done. Acceptance criteria accepted. But one of the managers said that you cannot close the story without my review.
Mm.
Okay. And that was the bottleneck that every sprint we were observing.
Yeah.
So we had to get rid of that manager. because because we gave enough opportunity. So it may sound negative, it may sound very harsh. We gave enough opportunity to change the mindset of that person.
Mm.
But the lack of um, you know acceptance to change was very broad. It was very difficult for everyone to make that change happen. The
Yeah.
trainings were organized, the value or the outcome or the faster delivery, all these kind of things been explained to that manager. So don't be like that. If you are in the hierarchy, adopt to the change. Change is very difficult to digest, but this is one of the experience or story that I want to share. Maybe a little negative, but still you have to see the right side of it. That's what I want to add.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you're absolutely right, right?
yeah,
Because unless the leadership does not uh, evolve its mindset and align their thought process with the way they behave, they will not be able to be a positive impact on the transformation.
right. You said it right. Yeah. So there was like lot of um, resistance. People were not sure. So people were doubtful, always doubtful when before closing their stories, because that manager will come and he will review it. Even the product owner has been approved. The acceptance criteria or definition of done has been made. So
Mm.
let's move on to from this story to next question.
Sure.
Now, uh, like we know that these agile teams, scrum teams has to be self-organized or self-managed, the new word that we are using. Okay. But now how can managers support these self-managed team without losing control? Because that's the one of the fear that I observed in the managers specifically, that
Mm.
if I gave all the freedom to my team, I will not have any value.
Yeah. So again, I'll go back to the first answer. It's an either or mindset.
Either or mindset,
Right?
yes.
So should I give control or should I not give control? If I give control, this is going to happen. So this fear, right, is stemming out because you have an either or mindset. Let's say I'll give control and still help them be, empowered. So that is a third alternative, right? And that you cannot decide because human beings are different in different teams. So maybe you can co-create that solution. So this is a very common problem I've seen during my coaching, and one of the things that I advise people or leaders to do is you don't control people, but instead control the context, control the environment, control the situation in a way that you can still have control while giving them freedom to do. So how can you do that? One is explain the why and the what to the teams, but give them the freedom to do the how, right? And that can be possible only if you have clarity. You give them clarity, you give them everything that they need to make sure that they can do their jobs well, right? You give them all the information that they can get. Second is alignment. Unless and until you bring the big picture in front of them and say how is their work contributing to the outer goal, or how is their work going to solve a customer need, right? They will not be able to contribute to their best of their ability and come up with creative solutions. So first is clarity, second is alignment, and the third most important thing is put boundaries, what they can do and what they cannot do. They may say that I come up with a great solution, but it's going to cost me $1 million. You can't afford that, right? So
Absolutely.
this is the budget, this is the timeline, whatever that is. So give them boundaries of action, give them clarity, give them alignment, which is you controlling the context, however not controlling the people, because the how is left to them. So I think that's something that you could try, and it has worked for me in the past. The analogy that I use most often is, think of it like you are the gardener in the place. You can't force the plants to grow. You need to give them water, you need to give them sunlight, you need to create conditions, like the soil should be right. So create these conditions with clarity, alignment, and boundaries. Automatically the plants will grow on their own.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for bringing this excellent perspective. Now, um, everyone wants to be leader, and even I want to go into leadership role one day.
Sure.
Like, what are the top three leadership skills that I start practicing from today?
Mm. I won't give you cliched answer. But
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, so some of the things that I think is in today's world, especially with AI and everything coming in, right? I think one of the biggest qualities of a leader for to become, agile is learning how to facilitate and coach. In the past, we have learned how to, do this, do that, or don't do this, don't do that. So it's always like you are telling people what to do. I think we should drop that because today, like you mentioned earlier, we have a multi-generational workforce. They are smart, their context is different, their priorities are different, they come with great experience, they're very intelligent people. So how can we leverage that intelligence, that collective intelligence that everybody brings to the table, right? So one thing is to be able to guide dialogue between all of them, which means you need to have good facilitation and coaching skills. So that is your number one. If you are able to do that, solutions will automatically come out of the group discussions or the collective intelligence that people bring in, and you don't have to do much because solutions are coming out from the floor with experience, with knowledge, and by their own thought process. The second is your ability to see beyond silos. Can you be able to connect the dots
Hmm.
and understand how something will influence something else? Identify those interdependencies within the system. So let's call it systems thinking, right? Do you
Right.
have the systems thinking to connect the dots and be able to, respond to see if I trigger something else may get messed up or something else may get uh,
Fixed.
become
Hmm.
different, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that is second. The third most important thing is emotional agility. Today, with this constant change, which is so fast right now, I think people get overwhelmed with this enormous speed and the change that is happening. It's important for you to stay grounded and not lose your cool. And it's very easier said than done. It's very hard to be constantly receiving feedback and still be strong and calm and composed. But I think that is the need of the hour. And because AI is coming in, I think all your transactional work is can be done with the using AI tools. You have an assistance from these tools and frameworks, but stability or staying calm under pressure, I think it still be the number one quality an agile leader should have. Agile itself means, key things will keep changing, right?
Keep changing. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how can you be there, facilitate conversation, cater to the need of the customer, connect dots? All of these things come together, you will become a very solid agile leader, in my opinion.
Thank you. Great. I'll try to practice all these things. Great. Now, uh, you know, we did discussed about delivery. We did, how it has been disturbed, or how the in old days or even now there is a pressure. Okay.
Hmm.
So team is working, sometimes team working day in day out, and there's a pressure on the of delivery, but at the same time team sometimes burn out. So
Hmm.
team's well-being and balance of delivery pressure, how can we manage these things?
Yeah. So I'll go back to the first question again, where
Again.
you said either or. Again, it's not about balancing delivery. It's not about delivery or team well-being,
Right.
right? You use the right word, the balance.
Balance.
So one of my favorite words that Agile Leadership Journey CEO mentions, his name is Pete Behrens. He calls this tension. You
Hmm.
need to learn to manage the tension.
Hmm.
Anything that is conflicting with each other is nothing but tension. So how do you manage tension? By, making sure that, there is a balance in catering to both of them. You can't either sway this side or that side, right?
Right.
So I truly believe that sustained delivery can happen only with sustainable teams. So if your teams are not able to sustain themselves, then your delivery will not be, it'll be a one thing activity. Once everybody will achieve something, and if you continuously keep burning them out, they're going to lose energy and drop. So most important thing is how can we manage the energy of people, not just the output. For example, in daily stand-ups, what will we do? We'll say, what did we do yesterday? What are we doing today? What are the impediments that are coming on your way? Along with that, which is really about, focusing on the output or the delivery, can we also say, how's your energy today? How were you feeling yesterday? How are you feeling today? What is blocking your energy today? Can you bring in flow? Can you be your best self? If not, how can I help you? So these kind of conversations, if you start having, along with, I'm not saying drop the delivery, both, you know. So give space for human beings to be themselves, create a safety net for failure, create opportunities for learning. If you do all of this, I think you will be able to bring a balance between, both. One simple thing that I had done for one of the teams that I was coaching is, during stand up we had a scale, three scales, and we said, what is your load today, how clear are you on what you need to do, and what is your energy level from 1 to 10. People would rate themselves.
Mm.
My load, I have too much work today or too less work today. My energy is like 50%, 40%, 60%, and then they would say, I'm clear on everything that I need to do, 50%, whatever. Every time it dropped to less than 50, we would call it a red flag.
Oh,
We would
nice.
take people aside and say, okay, why do you think your load is high today? What can we do to help you? Then they would say, there is a dependency here, I'm stuck here. So we would, ask people from the team to volunteer, saying, who wants to help this person?
Right.
Somebody would volunteer, and then we would help balance that load. If somebody said, my energy is low today, why? My son was sick. I was up all night, so I'm not in a great position right now. So then we would say, who wants to help this person, reserve some energy. And if somebody is really on high energy, we would pair them up and say, can you help each other?
Mm.
So those kind of things that actually enabled more collaboration, also made the teams get connected really close, but it also helped us understand, make sure that delivery is anyways happening, but we were also considering the human elements of, the team. So that's something we called it well-being radar. So
Well, big radar. Oh, that's nice.
so
Yeah,
that's
nice tool. Very, very basic, simple tool
nice
to
and simple.
implement. Yeah, very nice. And very, it's like it has that visibility,
Yeah, yeah,
transparency.
yeah.
It's in front of you. So, and nothing complicated to understand. So very nice. Thanks. I will try to implement this into my projects.
Yeah, and those three words were what I used. You guys can use whatever works for your team.
Right.
Don't have to, stick by the same things that we did. Yeah.
Mm. Good. Now, let's talk about a little bit about tools.
Mm-hmm.
And, so what are some of the tools that a leadership, we already discussed about AI. AI is something which we have to talk. But are there any tools that we should start using, learning to become good leader in the future?
I have this quote that I truly believe in. Awareness precedes choice, choice precedes change. If you want to be a good leader, and if you want to change yourself to be a better person or shape yourself to be a great leader, you have to have awareness
Mm.
of who you are today and where you want to be, right? And that awareness comes with reflection. I don't know how many of us in this busy world have the time to sit back and reflect. We are running after meeting, getting things done and so on. So I truly believe that unless you take time for yourself, reflect, it's not going to, you cannot change much or you cannot grow
Right.
much, right? So journaling is one tool that I would recommend 100% to whoever wants to, know about themselves a little more. It was hard for me. I could not ever sit down and write. So, because I thought that I'm too tired, or I don't know how much I should think, and what question should I ask in journaling? How do I know what to reflect on? Those kind of things used to come. So my son, he told me, Mom, you can just start doing speech to text. You don't have to think much, just record your voice,
Mm.
and transcribe. Things will get transcribed, right? So once you get the whole transcription, he said, copy paste that in ChatGPT. Okay. And then he said, ask ChatGPT to give you 3 patterns that it is finding in your sharing, right? And when I looked at the 3 patterns, it was bang on. It said, okay, here you are scared of this, you are apprehensive about this, you could have handled this situation differently, blah, blah, blah. So once that happened, I took that whole thing and said, then I did a validation piece saying that, oh, I'm thinking like that. I didn't even know. Right. And then I asked ChatGPT, what can I do to overcome this? Right. And then it would tell, why don't you try this? And then if it feels right, I would try that. So that's how I started journaling recently. And in fact, ChatGPT now gives me a pattern and trend, how much I have grown in that one particular area and how much I'm dipping in some others. So it's a great tool, where you can be yourself and reflect and become whoever you want to become and grow however you want to grow. So for me, instead of tools and frameworks, I would focus on growth because it's less about learning the new tools, but unlearning the old habits that are blocking you or impeding you today. That's one
Absolutely.
tool. The second tool is, I have had this many times where people come and come confused saying that Agile doesn't work for us, while they don't even know when to use Waterfall and when to use Agile. They use Agile for everything because Agile has been implemented. So Canevin framework is something that I would suggest. It will tell you whether you can identify whether your projects are simple, complicated, complex, and that Agile is for complex projects. So if your nature of the project is very simple, straightforward, you know what to do, you know how to go about it, why do you even need Agile?
Absolutely.
Just follow whatever you know and just do it. Right? Only when things become complex and there is ambiguity in what to be delivered and how to go about it is where you need Agile ways of working. So use that tool as much as you can as an Agile leader to find out if this project really needs Agile or not. So that's another tool. The third tool is something called Catalyst Canvas. In Agile Leadership Journey, we use this as a goal setting tool. The power of this tool is that it's not a normal goal setting tool where you list in everything that you want to do. There are 4 questions. The first one, it says, why is this goal important for you now? What are the values you're driving? Second, what are the obstacles that will come in your way when you're trying to achieve this goal? The third, it says, what are some of the measures that you will put to find out if this goal is successful? To see, are you even progressing towards the goal? Right?
Okay.
And the last one is the small steps. Most often we jump to the small steps and forget about these questions. So I want us to think back in these 3 questions before jumping into solutions for the goals. And when you put small steps, make sure that you don't have a laundry list. Pick the first 3 things that you need to do to get started. I think that would be good enough. So these are 3 tools that I swear by, and I use this on a daily basis, and I think it'll help all of you if you did that too.
Great tools. Absolutely. I'll add few things here.
Yeah, please.
So the last point that you small steps. Always refer to James Clear, Atomic Habits.
Yes.
You don't have to woke up and start running to run a marathon. The first thing you have to do, you have to go buy a shoe. That's the small step. Okay. You're making your mind to run the marathon. Okay. And one tool that I will absolutely recommend everyone, apart from these wonderful tools, is books. Start reading books. Okay. And it need not to be a self-help book. It need not to be a leadership or coaching or any book. Pick up any book, start reading. And as Rashmi said, start reflecting what you have learned from or what you have gained from that book.
Yeah.
Rashmi, last question. Will you recommend any books to our audience?
Atomic Habits is a brilliant book. Another book related to that is Switch. It also
Switch.
helps you build better habits. So, Switch book has 3 things that you need to keep in mind when you're developing habits. One, the rider, the elephant, and the path.
Okay.
The rider is your logical mind,
Hmm.
wherever you want to go, the rider is telling you. The elephant is your emotions. So and because the elephant is big, right? Emotions are usually the bigger obstacles. So if you're able to, take that along, it will work. And the final one is the path. How can you create an environment which will help the elephant and the rider move smoothly? So Switch is a brilliant book if you want to build new habits. And I love Atomic Habits as well. In fact, I came up with a small acronym for Atomic Habits. I call it EAST: easy,
East.
attractive, simple, and timely.
Perfect. Great. It was pleasure talking to you, Rashmi. Wonderful. So many takeaways. Absolutely. I'm going to start looking into the tips, the leadership uh, ideas or the tools that you have suggested.
Yeah.
Once again, from all the audience of Agile Exploration Hub, I want to say thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being such a wonderful speaker.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure being here, and I loved your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.